Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Sagittarius October 2024 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, Clairvoyant. Well, we have a very interesting deck this month. It was very graciously given to me by someone. It's called Mystical Moments, and I think there could be some mystical moments coming up for us in this, coincidentally. Did you know that tarot decks will work better if someone has given it to you than otherwise, if that's what you want to know? Now, you do know that I provide clairvoyant readings to people all over the world over FaceTime and Skype. And if you might be interested in seeing what's involved in that, just check out the information that's in the description. Now, I charge for those. I have expenses like everybody else, probably more expenses than you can even imagine. But one thing that I do not charge for is another spiritual gift that I was provided with at birth, and it's the gift of healing. Now, you may think, well, if you're not charging for it, it can't be any good, or it's pointless. Nothing could be further from the truth. Now, the gift was given to me on, I know, my soul contract, that there are 3 conditions attached to my having received it, and nothing special about me, is that number 1, I've got to use it. Number 2, if people ask for it, I must give it to them. Number 3, I can receive nothing in return. Therefore, it is offered for free. Now, if this does speak to you, and you'll know it if it does, then just also check out the information in the description. Get hold of me. I spend time each day to do healings, so I'll be very happy to do it. Now, there are no video advertisements breaking their way into this content, and so you will get to enjoy the experience direct. Now, let us see. We're only going to take 5 cards because that's all we need, I think, so show me the magic. 4 of Wands, what's this? 6 of Pentacles, excellent. A couple of nice Japanese looking women there. What's this? The Hanged Man, a hanged lady in this case, upside down. What's this? Death, but in a good way. And again, a lovely painting on this. What's here? Let me take something from right up near the top somewhere. What's this thing, I wonder? Have a look. The Moon. Well, why don't I bring the camera around so you and I can have a good close look at the cards and the art of them together, while the cosmic energies swirl and speak to us both, and I'll do the reading for you. Fascinating spread of cards: happiness, prosperity, harmony, great success, working on yourself to make things happen and letting a few things go, but as a result of letting those things go, great success, happiness, and harmony. Let's look at this first. It's the first card that you drew, of course, the 4 of Wands. Let me see, what's this painting saying to me? Well, in a nutshell, 2 people. 2's important, I think, for a reason. These birds on top of a house look obviously very happy with one another. The 4 that you see here, that's about foundation, completing things, completeness. Also about progress, power, and stability. Why is there 2 and joining together like that, male and female? Look, I think that this is Venus in the 3rd decan of Aries, the 10th to the 19th of April. Now, on the zodiac wheel, Venus is the ruler of Libra, the cardinal sign of air, and so to make its way across into Aries, the cardinal sign of fire, it's 180 degrees away, so it's in opposition, you would think, wouldn't you? It's diametrically opposed. And the other thing is there that Venus is really in detriment in Aries, so that doesn't, you think, bode well. But the thing about Venus is this, is that Venus can be very, very carnal. Venus can be very involved in all the good things and people and experiences with people, read into that what you will, that life has to offer. Mars, of course, is trundling along here, being its best in the masculine sign of Aries. But of course, Libra's a masculine sign, and Venus, in the evening, when she's the evening star, she's all girlishness, schoolgirl, love, romance, what have you, but in the morning star, she's the warrior princess. And so I think here there is actually a great degree of harmony, just there is a harmony between the male and female there. Now I think that this is a green light to success for you with this combination of these planets together. It's a foundation, a first step to completion, maybe even setting up a new home. Because Venus, which is the symbol of beauty and love, it's combining with Aries, the principle of new beginnings. And your heart is pushing forward and seeking the development of the beautiful in new directions. But of course, before the new can arise, the old must be tied off and completed. Still, there is that aspect to it, being in opposition, Venus in Aries. So I would say here that any conflicts between opposites needs to be resolved in a way which will further you on the way to your highest goal. Now, tensions in relationships can work positively when the individuality of each partner is recognized and respected. This makes it possible for you to support one another going forward. I'm in love with Venus, the beautiful woman. This is also talking of great self-confidence, and in particular for women. Now, every woman needs these three things: self-esteem, self-love, and self-confidence. Now, a female that possesses all three is an empowered and unstoppable queen. She knows her worth, and everything about her represents quality. Now, her happiness comes from within. That's where it first arises, because she respects herself. She values who she is, and she's not easily impressed or persuaded by people or things. She has a purpose and a direction here. An admirable being is what she is, extraordinary and highly desirable. She is beautiful. Now, this energy does, as I say, and as you recall, speak of completing, sorting things out in order to make progress go forward. So let me see what's here. What we have is the Hanged Man. What strikes me about this? Well, it's the usual person hanging upside down here with all this lush growth, everything around it. So there's abundance coming to you this month. The most interesting aspect of this is that her feet are tied to this zipper, which, as she goes down with gravity, is unzipping what looks like something that has been closed off and making it open, sunny, free, and airy once again. So there's something going on in your life, I think, where you are getting rid of something that has become stuck. You're bringing about an end to a situation or something within a relationship which is stuck. You're letting go. You're giving, I won't say giving up, but maybe you're I won't even say surrendering. Maybe what you're doing is you are doing something that maybe with your existing thought patterns and ways of behavior you wouldn't ordinarily do in order to get a greater benefit as the result. So in a way, I think what you're doing is to see something in a new way. And as a result, there is the necessity of breaking through old behavior patterns. And as a result, you actually are going to have a great transformation here. It's as if you are like turning from the proverbial caterpillar into the butterfly. This is also very spiritually beneficial for you here. Your soul is expanding. There is, I think, for you the opportunity to, in a sense, to redeem yourself in a situation if it has turned sour without allocating any blame anywhere. Because I think you have the opportunity to bring light onto something, just as in a way this woman is metaphorically bringing the light of the divine down into matter itself. I think that this is... See, I have the planet of Neptune around here, watery Neptune, which can be weird and unusual and bring about disruption and arguments and what have you, and also particularly things that are related to the emotions. So you can have the repair or the redemption of a situation that is related to an emotional event. And this might need you to give up something lesser, which may be a sense of pride, or it may be something different to what you'd ordinarily do, but giving it up for something much more, which will be much more fulfilling for you emotionally and spiritually. And I have the intuition here that it's to do with arguments. Now, you might come to the position where you actually do say to yourself that you cannot, in all honesty, remember how it all started. It wasn't the sort of dispute where you did remember. It was more an argument where the little disagreements had ended up so entangled that every new word was treacherously booby-trapped. And in the end, it wasn't possible to open your mouth at all without setting off at least half a dozen unexploded landmines from earlier conflicts. It's a sort of argument, I think, that has just run and run and run until one day it's just run out, leaving things barren. But the thing with relationships, of course, is that there never is any safe investment, because to love at all is to be vulnerable. Now, love anything in your heart will certainly be squeezed and possibly even broken, but if you want to make sure of keeping it intact, you must give your heart to nobody, not even an animal. You need to wrap it up carefully, round and around with hobbies and business and little luxuries, avoiding all entanglements. You need to lock it up safe in a coffin. But in that coffin, where it lies safe, dark and motionless and airless, it will change, of course. It may not be broken again, but it will not be broken again in that condition, because it will become unbreakable, impenetrable, irredeemable, unrepairable. You need to take the risk. And the fact is that very often it just comes down to something as simple as words. Now, your thoughts about something have been produced as a result of pictures that you have created in your mind and surrounded with words that you have created in your mind. And your thoughts dictate your feelings, and your feelings dictate your actions, and then everything goes around and around and around. Well, there is another word which is very important, I think, to think of in this context, and it is this: sorry. Now, sorry means that you feel the pulse of the other person's pain as well as your own, and saying it means you take a share of it, and so it binds you together. Now, sorry is a lot of things. It's a hole refilled, a debt repaid. Sorry is the wake of the speedboat of misdeed. It's the crippling ripple of consequence. Sorry is sadness, just as knowing is sadness. Sorry is sometimes self-pity, but let me assure you, self-pity is the suicide of the soul. But sorry really is not about you. It's theirs to take or to leave. Now, sorry means that you leave yourself open to being embraced, or open to be ridiculed, or open to revenge. Sorry is a question that begs forgiveness, because the beat of a good heart won't settle until things have been set right and true. Now, sorry never takes anything back, but it pushes things forward. It bridges that gap. Sorry is a sacrament. It's an offering, a gift. And that lets you take part in and take comfort from eternity. Well, eternity. Now, in the external scheme of things, outwardly, what's eternity? Eternity is those shining moments that are as brief as the twinkling of an eye. Yet such twinklings are what eternity is made of. Moments when we human beings can say, I love you, I'm proud of you, I forgive you, I'm grateful for you. That's what eternity is made of. Invisible, imperishable, great words like those that echo all throughout time. Now, I really do think that this card which is following it has very much the same sort of message, in a way, energy, spiritual guidance to that previous card, because whatever else we might say about the moon here, what's attracting me is this element of water down here, which definitely refers to your subconscious. Now, this is almost like a final testing for you. The burning off of karma. There's almost like a struggle between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, but you are on the threshold to new levels of clarity, really. And there is Neptune here again. Neptune in Pisces this time, spiritual Pisces. In a way, this is the process of diving further and deeper into the darker realms of the soul. Now, I'd say, rather than saying it's a final and difficult testing, I'd say it's almost a signpost to say that you should look within, because there is certainly something going on in your life that is not as it appears to be, a situation that is deceiving. And maybe this is something that you have. You may be wearing a mask, is what I have. You may actually be unsure about which way to go, almost as if you are lost in the dark with no signposts. But particularly this is reaching up to me to say that this is representing your shadow self, your subconscious or hidden self, where there is some negativity, heartache that has been carried since childhood and suppressed, or which you're not aware of, which may be coming up and which produces things. Because, do you know, from the time that we were children and all throughout our lives, those things that the heart has not wept for, the body and the personality do weep for at different times and in different ways, which are unpredictable and do lead to problems in things like relationships. It's just the way things are. Now, within the center of the universe, there is a heart that beats and wants to see every living person happy and joyful to be alive. Now, I suspect that your subconscious, you see, is that deep within you there is something profoundly known, not consciously, but subconsciously. There's a quiet truth there that is not a version of something, but an original knowing. Now, what this absolute truth or identity is, you might think it's none of your business in the way that you're getting on with your life, but it is there, guiding you along the path of greater becoming, a true awareness. It is so self-sustaining that your recognition of it isn't even required. Now remember, you are the child of a powerfully divine force, the creator of all things known and unknown. And the thing is, of course, your subconscious doesn't know the difference between what is real and unreal. So go back and look at yourself, validate those things that happened to you, particularly when you were younger, give them voice, accept them. And then, of course, well, you see, there is this card of resurrection. Although, ironically, it's called death. But look at this picture here. See, what you think is dead. The skeleton here is actually alive and coming through with beauty and grace. There's a transformation of yourself here. This is Scorpio. Scorpio is three forms. It's a transformation. It's a scorpion, it's a snake, and it's an eagle. And you become free of old ensnarements now. Now, there are some endings, and you are letting go of emotional attachments. You are changing the way that you are looking things. You are letting go of old patterns of thought. That's here. Now, this is Mars ruling Scorpio, the planet of fiery energy in its lowest form this time, as opposed to here. And this energy is necessary to provide the impetus to have the change come about. Now, something in your life is dissolving or dying or going to be put away with. It could be a structure, it could be something you've thought about, it might be a pattern of thought. Great transformation, and you'll even be facing your fears, I think. But you will be understanding that, look, in order to grow and to abandon the old, that death is your protection against stagnation, and you need to leave behind what you have outgrown. In fact, death cuts down the weeds so that the sun can shine on the fertile seeds buried in the soil. Now, if there is a particular person in your life that is repeatedly choosing not to honor you and is causing you more sadness or pain than they are joy, well, look, it just might be time to release that friendship back to God and trust that it is not where you belong. And sometimes in matters of love, a competitive and insecure woman will tell you that true love is never giving up on someone you're in love with. But a confident and spiritual woman knows that moving on doesn't mean you never loved someone. She just realizes that letting go is what God needs her to do, because both your happiness and theirs requires taking different journeys for spiritual growth. Letting go is sometimes the hardest thing, but it is the most real love you will ever experience. If you are leaving a house that you have very, very many years of memories in, don't do it slowly, do it quickly, suddenly, and don't look back. And then in the blessed way, here you have what is confirmation of the success that you'll have. In typical Japanese style, a very tasteful thing here. This is the moon ruling the second decan of Taurus, incidentally, the 1st to the 10th of May. Well, the moon is exalted in Taurus, which is fantastic. And the moon likes nurturing and comfort. And Taurus, well, Taurus is the poster child, probably even more than you, for enjoyment of what life has to offer. Eating, drinking, sex, flirting, great fashion, good cars. There's an external manifestation of inner success here. This is representing internal processes which promise luck and success. And there is material advancement here, and even a sense of prosperity, I'd say. Now, there could well be the opportunity to get involved in a profitable adventure. It's a reminder for you to remember the successes in your life to date and to build on those. There's definitely a desire for success. And the advice, of course, would be willing to take risks, to be committed, trust your intuition. What does success mean for you? Be open to your success. Visualize as precisely as possible what success looks like, and say to yourself, my self-acceptance and self-confidence, they are the keys to real success. What a fantastic spread of cards for you. Made all the better for you being here.
Well, you did a great job there. Well done. And didn't I say the art was fantastic? Now, unless I see you privately, either for a clairvoyant reading or for a healing, then I'll see you again here next month. And until then, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.